There. Okay, so it's really important that you know how to calculate your own grades. And if we do that with these mock students, then you have a better idea as the school year goes on how to calculate your own grade or what goes into your actual grade. So last week we talked a little bit about how we calculate grades in this course. Do we remember how much your formative grade is worth in this class? What is it? Not 20. 10%. Okay, so 10% of the academic grade, and that's kind of the key thing right there is your academic grade. Okay. How about your summative grade? If formative is worth 10%, then your summative is worth 90. Okay, now these two things make up your academic grade. Okay, but your semester grade is made up of what? Do we know? What makes up your semester grade? Go ahead, Connor. Oh, sorry. Your exam and what else? And the academic grade. So the academic grade plus your exam grade, that's what's going to make up your semester grade. Does that make sense? So we use these two things, your formative and summative, to figure out your academic grade. And then that grade along with your exam grade is what comes into play at the end of the semester. That's what goes on your transcript. That's the big important grade, okay, is the end of the semester. Now, how do you get there is all your grades throughout this whole semester is going to be what gets you there. So you have to be careful and everything, moves up, goes up to it. So at the end of the semester, when we calculate your actual semester grade, your academic grade is worth how much? 80%. Okay, so that means most of your grade is made up of your formative and summative work. Okay, now what's your semester exam worth then? 20%. Now that's going to be the same for all of your high school classes. C and D in there are the same for all your semester or all of your high school classes. A and B are going to be what's different in your different courses. Okay, some are 70-30, some are 80-20, some are 90-10. That's going to depend on the course itself. So, student 1, we're going to first calculate the formative grade. So they got all these different scores on their homework assignments. Now, last week I told you what a homework assignment's worth. Does anyone remember? Based on those scores, anyone want to take a guess at what it's worth? 2 points. 2 points. Okay? So, in this case, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 scores. So what would be the total number of points they could have possibly gotten? 18. So how we figure out their formative grades is we're going to figure out the points earned out of the points possible. Okay, so if there are 18 points possible, okay, now let's calculate how many points did they earn. So add up their points. They had 1, and then 1.5, and then 2. They got 13? Anyone else get 13? 13 sounded good? Okay. Okay, so their formative score right now is a 13 out of 18. Let's figure that out as a percentage. So what is 13 out of 18 as a percentage? Do we know how to figure that out as a percent? You do the 13 divided by 18. Okay, so that comes out as 0.72 what? A bunch of other twos. So it looks like this, right? Okay, so to calculate it as a percent, we're going to move the decimal over 2. Okay? Now we'll round it to the nearest tenth. So that means we're going to look at that number right there. And we look to the right of it. And we say, is that 2 going to round up or stay the same? It's going to stay the same because if this number here was 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, we would change that to a 3. But since it's not 5 or more, we leave it, drop all these numbers, and this becomes 72.2% for their formative grade. We'll round to the nearest tenth until we get to the actual semester grade, because that's what MyStar does, is it rounds everything to a tenth, and then at the semester grade, it rounds down no matter what. So we'll just practice that on this assignment too. Okay, so your summative grades. When I go to calculate your summative grade, I will enter into the computer your percentage. Okay, so I put it in the computer so that all summative grades are 100 points apiece. I put your percentage in. If you get a 92%, I put that you got a 92 out of 100 in there. Okay, that way all your tests are all weighted the same. You don't have one that's 40 points and one that's 60 points. Okay, so they're all going to be weighted the same. So the way that you're going to calculate this one is the exact same. Your points earned over points possible. So if there are 3 assessments, how many points were possible? What is it? 206 was points possible, or the points earned? Points earned. Yep, they earned 206 points. So what were the possible points then? 300, because there were 3 summative tests, meaning each one was 100 points. 3 times 100 is 300. Let's go ahead and we're going to calculate that percentage. So it's like 0.68 what? A bunch of other 6s? Like this? Okay, so then we'll call that 68 point, remember this is the number that we're rounding to, so it's a 6, but this one here tells you to round it up to a 7. We know how to, does that look familiar, rounding? Give me like a 1 to 5. Totally already know how to do that. Mrs. Fox, down to a 1. I am not sure where you're coming up with these numbers from. Where are we at? I haven't seen everybody's hand yet. Even if you showed me your hand, show me again. Okay. All right, cool. Okay, so we're at 68.7%. Okay, so then the academic grade. Remember, your academic grade is made up of your formative grade plus your summative grade to get to the academic grade. Okay, but what percentage is formative and what percentage is summative? What percent is formative? 10%. So 10% of the formative grade plus, let me move that real quick. How much is summative? So 90% of summative is going to equal the academic grade. Okay? Now, the word of in math, that's a very important term. It means to multiply. So what this actually says is 0.10 times the formative grade plus 0.9 times the summative grade is going to equal the academic grade. Well, we already figured out the formative grade. We already figured out the summative grade. So now we just fill in what we know. 0.10 times the formative was 72.2 plus 0.9, the summative was 68.7 equals the academic grade. So what is the academic grade here? So you simplify the left side, type that into your calculator. If you don't have a scientific calculator, you have to figure out what this first term multiplies to, and then add it to whatever this second term multiplies to. So you have to do it in 2 steps. Figure out this, write it down, figure out this, write it down, and then add them together. What did you get? 69.5? Anyone else get 69.5? I thought we got something else in first hour. Oh, but you know what? That might have been a little bit different. $69.05. Is that what you got, Connor? Okay. So 69.05 would actually round to what then? What would my star tell you you have? 69. Yeah. It's not going to round up to 70% there, so it's going to give you a 69%. All right. So then they said, what if they would have gotten a 74% on the exam instead? And so, or sorry, not instead. This is still part of their grade. So that's their academic grade is a 69%. In order to calculate their semester grade, that's made up of two things. That's made up of the academic grade plus your exam grade to equal the semester one grade. Okay. Well, your academic grade is what percentage? 80%. So 80% of the academic grade plus 20% of the exam grade, that will equal your semester grade. So here we have 80%, so we're going to make it a formula just like this one. 0.80 of the academic grade plus 0.20 times your exam grade is equal to the semester grade. So then we fill in what we know. We have 0.8 of 69 plus 0.2 of the exam they got was a 74 is equal to their semester grade. So let's go ahead and figure out your semester grade here. And this one, they're always going to round to a whole number. This one would have still been to a tenth, but this one didn't have a tenth. Oh, wait, it did, didn't it? It's 69.05. I messed that one up. So that's 69.1 then. So this, that 5 rounds it up. I was thinking that was the semester grade when we were doing it. So then we should put this as 69.1 as well. So let's figure that one out. And what do they have as their semester grade? Yep, 70.08. And so in this case, because these ones are rounded to whole numbers, they cross off those decimals and it's 70% for their semester grade. Okay. So tomorrow, let me go ahead and